Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-76M. It's a Tier 4 Soviet tank destroyer. It's located on the west spawn of Studzianki and it's under the command of General Disturbance. Yes, it's one of my replays, part of a double bill featuring the lower tier tank destroyers. Now this one was actually known as Suka, or bitch in Russian, because it was a real bitch to drive. Yes, this little tank destroyer, based on the T-70 tank, not the T-34, but they manufactured 14,000 of these, and they really were a bitch to drive because the driver was right up front in a hatch. You can just see the hatch there in the front of the vehicle, right in the centre. You can see I'm destroying the camp and the building next to the camp, because obviously those are very effective if you're trying to cap and hide. So, 76mm gun, which is actually a very effective gun. They manufactured 14,000 of them, but they were very, very difficult tank destroyers to drive, basically because it had two engines, one parallel to the other, so effectively that they were one in front of the other, and those engines, one controlled the left hand side of the tracks, the other controlled the right hand side of the tracks, and it was really difficult for the driver, who was sitting right next door to the engines, to actually control them. But on top of that, with the harsh Russian winter and the fact that he was sitting right next door to the engines but had an open hatch in front of him, it was very, very cold for the driver mechanic. Even though he's sitting next to an engine that's actually generating vast amounts of heat, or two engines rather, and really difficult to drive this vehicle. That's why it got known as the bitch, because it was so difficult. Now you can see I managed to get around into the T6 medium, but it's really difficult for me to hit those enemy tanks because I'm having to get the shells over the platform into them. I don't want to get seen by them. I don't think they can see me, but they can feel the shells whizzing over their heads. I'm almost at maximum range away from them. Now I'm a bit higher up. They might be able to see me now. The fire rate is normally about 3.5 seconds per shot. As you can see, you can get faster fire rates. I got around into the Matilda. The enemies keep popping up, almost providing me with moving targets. And those girders are really getting in the way. But you do get lots of ammunition with this tank destroyer, so it's very handy. Now it's got good traverse, abominable gun depression. It's only 5 degrees, so it's really difficult to shoot down at targets. So you don't want to have to try and go up onto somewhere really, really high looking down on the enemy, because you will have to go over the edge just to get the gun to bear on them, and that makes you vulnerable to the enemy as well. I suppose the traverse speed is actually too quick sometimes, because that makes it, it's almost like a responding immediately to any change in direction or a request. But it can overcorrect. Sometimes you turn the vehicle towards the enemy, you go too far outside the arc of fire, which is fairly narrow, it's about 10 degrees either side, and that makes it mean you have to traverse back to actually get the gun to bear on the target properly. In fact, I think it's slightly more than 10 degrees either side. Okay, we've got a P2640, the Italian Tier 4 over there. If he appears, I might be able to get a shot into him. Oh, no, he's been killed. There's a Matilda up on top of the hill and an M3 Lee over there. I don't feel like I'm really contributing to this battle much. I've only got 338 hit points of damage so far, but that will change soon. I've decided to move up on the forest in the middle of the map, or rather the top of the map, which of course is tactically very important, because if you can seize this hill, then you can dominate the enemy. I'm hoping that I might be able to get the Matilda, and I might be able to use this wreck for cover. No, I'm not going to use the wreck. I'm going to pop up. And this is where, obviously, I mentioned about shooting down on somebody below you. Not very easy, but I managed to get the Matilda out with one shot. Decent penetration with standard AP. Lost sight of that AMX-40, the duck. Just firing rounds in that direction, hoping that some of them will actually hit target. That missed. I think that missed as well. Oh, another AMX-40 has been spotted. Or is that the same one? I think it's the same one. No, can't see him, so I'm knocking the walls down just to see if I can spot the guy. Nope, no sign, so I'm going to have to move closer. Well, still only the one kill, the Matilda. Looks like I'm going to have to go hunting the remainder of the enemy. There's still 7 of them out there, but the scores are even at the moment. But I'm pretty sure we can change that. Now, 76mm doesn't do a whole lot of damage, I'm afraid. As you can see here, the alpha is only 85, and it'll go through 112mm with standard ammo and 189 with the premium. So you will go through most things with the premium rounds, but it's better to actually try and use the standard AP because that usually does the trick. Most tanks at tier 4, and this is a tier 4 game only, are likely to actually pen the enemy. First enemy I found is an Arty. He's trying to retreat. It's a Hudschreck or Grasshopper, and he's running away. No, that one missed. Yep, that hit. And kill shot. Yep, got him. Ooh, now SU-76. That's a Suka as well. And I don't think he can see me. And he's about to go out the game. There you go. So 3 kills now. There's only 4 enemy tanks there. 2 tank destroyers, 2 mediums. See if I can catch some of them by going down this side. Oh! Armada managed to get a lucky shot on me. Took out the engine in the front of the vehicle. Okay, and he's got another shot into me, but I don't think he can see where I am now. And of course I'm using the bush mechanic. I've got a wreck between me and him. That's the Strodny V39, the Czech tank, the medium. Can't get any shots on him. It's actually, what I couldn't see at the time was he's a long way away and I'm not likely to get any shots on him. He's behind the buildings. If you check the minimap every now and then, you can see the exact location of an enemy target that's highlighted. And I thought for a second that he was just round the corner of one of the houses, a destructible house. But in actual fact, he's a lot further away. Yes, it shows up now, but that Marder's still there. And there he is, pulling back to use the bush mechanic. First shot in. Yep, that hit. Gonna need at least 2 more shots. Lost sight of him. Can't see the spot. There he is. And yes, he did see me. And I tracked him. And I killed him. 4 kills. There's only 1 enemy left. It's that SU-76 GFT, which is the Chinese version of this tank, or rather it's actually a design similar to this tank. Not quite the same because it's fully enclosed, the Chinese version. It's got a 76mm gun. It uses a tractor as its chassis, whereas this thing, as I said, used the T-70 light tank, which was very much different. Now, where are you? Somewhere up ahead. Everyone's closing in on the position. There he is. And he's a fair distance away, but he is a one-shot. I'm going to have to motor if I'm going to get there in time. I'm not sure. Let's see. I can't see him actually. He's disappeared from sight, which means he's probably down in the dip. I'll try and get as close as I can. If I don't get him, my teammates will anyway, for sure. There he is. I lock on. No. Try again. Yep, got him that shot. And that wins the game. So, the SU-76, otherwise known as the Suka, or Bitch. Let's have a look at the second battle. The second recording is with the SU-85. It's a tier 5 Soviet tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Kharkov under the command of Major Nuisance. And yes, that's another one of my accounts. Well, this little tank destroyer is based on the T-34, although it's armed with an 85mm gun, which is capable of 180 alpha and penetrating 144mm of armour. Originally, the Soviets produced a tank destroyer based on the 122mm howitzer, and that was the SU-122, not to be confused with the SU-122A, the SPG, and they were often used as self-propelled guns to shoot at enemy tanks in barrage capability, lined up alongside each other, and you'll see that in the film White Tiger. But 2,000 of this tank destroyer were built during the years 1943-1944, and they were fitted with the 85mm gun as a proper tank destroyer, and there's quite a few used as monuments in Russia. Now, they stopped production after getting to 2000 because what they wanted to produce instead was the SU-100, which originally had a 100mm gun, but then they fitted a 122mm gun to it instead. Okay, the enemy's in sight. We've pulled back to make the bush bushy, and we're now going to shoot at the enemy. First shot hits the tracks. Okay, just to check and see him again, and pull back to use the bush mechanic. You see the reload time is quite long. It's about 8 seconds or thereabouts, 6 seconds to 8 seconds. Depends on the crew. Looks like I did hit the tracks but didn't track him. I got some more hit points there. High roll. They're trying to get into cover. Okay, I can't see an outline. Oh, just had the BDR for a moment. Get through his turret. They're trying to pull into cover behind the buildings. Oh, there's the KV-1. First shot didn't hit, but if I can get the turret again. Yep.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Nice bit of damage on the turret because it's fairly thin.
Enemy is hit.
Okay, just need to reacquire again. Nobody in sight. They are there though. I think they've gone into cover. I've already earned just under 1,000 hit points of damage. Close to 900 though. It's quite useful having the Wolverine with me because if I miss a shot, he might be able to hit them instead. Our Type 95's got to the end of the circular area. It's up to the C row. Can't see the enemy, but there is a bunch of enemy behind him now. Ah, okay, P2640. I take the shot even though I was possibly seen. But I'm firing on the KV-1. I was definitely seen there, I think. Pretty sure I was. That one just hit the tracks and bounced off. So we know where one of the KV-1s is. He's just around that corner and the BDR's joined him. And I'm easily going to go through the steel potato. I pulled back to use the bush mechanic, but I'm pretty sure he did see me. Even though my sixth sense didn't go off. And he's gone. The Wolverine got him. So that Wolverine is useful. And there goes the KV-1. Looks like he's using the derp gun as well. At least I hope he's using the derp gun. Yes, I think that is the derp. Yes, that's the Wolverine with the derp. That's much better because that's a 105mm gun. Okay, we've got a Chinu further up the road, but he's not in sight of us at the moment, looking at the minimap. So there is still two enemy tanks around the corner, a P2640 and potentially a KV-1, I think it was. We're 5 tanks up on the enemy at the moment. It seems to be doing rather well. I've now up to 1,700 hit points of damage. And there's the KV-1 just as our cap starts howling. That one bounced off the rear of the vehicle. Missed him with that shot. Can't see him again. Ah, somebody fired back at me. In fact, actually, the Wolverine got killed. Somebody fired and hit him, and he took the shot. That's why I heard that bang behind me. P-26. Oh, missed him. I'm not worried about the cap because we've got teammates on the way. One big shot into the P-26. Oh, KV-1 came around the corner. I missed him altogether, but I didn't miss him there. And the P-26 is still trying to get me. So I'm going to change position. In fact, he's had to come around the corner to get shots, and he's bouncing on my front plate because it's very well angled. Okay. The closer I get, the easier it is for me to score a hit on him. He's still bouncing off me. I'm just going to zoom around the corner, lock on. And that's it, you're gone. Okay. Only 3 enemies left. I'm up to 2k of damage. All 3 are up the other end of the map, so I'm going to have to motor if I want to get any damage. I think this is one of the most underestimated of all the lower tier tank destroyers before you get to the SU-100, when, of course, that getting that 122mm gun makes a huge difference on the enemy. But an 85mm with a fairly fast fire rate can do a lot of damage fairly quickly in a game, as you saw, and actually accumulated quite a bit just by sitting there and using the bush mechanic. Only 2 enemies remaining. One of those has got 1 hit point, the other one's got 425. I can probably dispose of the M8A1 with 1 shot. He's just around the corner of that mound of snow. Oh, locked on instead to the 14 TP, who's got more hit points. Missed him with the first shot. I'm in the cap, and the 14 TP's gone, so it's just a matter of getting to the M8A1. Well, where is he? And oh, he dies before I can get to him. Ah, that's unfortunate. So, reasonably good battle in the SU-85 based on the T-34. And here's the end of battle statistics for the first battle, the SU-76M Suka, or Little Bitch. In fact, I managed to get an ace tanker in that game. It was the first ace tanker I've had in the SU-76M. And in fact, you can find one of these SU-76Ms at Bovington Tank Museum. Yes, it is there. They do actually have one, even though it's self-propelled artillery, or self-propelled gun rather. And they don't normally carry self-propelled guns at the Tank Museum. It also, you managed to get, or I managed to get, a fire for effect, a fighter badge, and a bruiser, but no other medals. My win 8 from that game was 10,534. So you can see it is possible to actually earn a decent win 8 and a decent amount of damage off such a small tier 4 tank destroyer. If you look at the team score, we can see that I easily managed to get the highest on my team, but not the highest overall. That Marder 38T, the one who hit me, got a high caliber for 1,707, but I wasn't that far behind with 1,467. And when it came to kills, we both shared the top with 5 kills each. And when it came to base XP, I was top with 736 because I was on the winning team. The T6 Medium got 585 and the Matilda 582. That Marder 38T only got 386 because he was on the losing team. But that placed him equal 5th with our SU-76GFT. When it came to detail, I fired 59 rounds. That's an awful lot of ammunition, but you do carry a lot of ammunition in this tank destroyer. 22 direct hits, 20 penetrations, and mostly just standard AP. In fact, I think I didn't fire a premium round in the entire battle. 1,467 hit points of damage, of which 520 were at more than 300 meters. I received 3 hits, all 3 were penetrations, and I believe, if I'm correct, that all 3 rounds came from that Marder 38T as well. 2 vehicles spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 31 hit points of damage assistance. I earned 22,514 credits, got 11,257 from personal reserves, total of 33,770 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, I took away 29,694 credits profit. I got 1,104 XP times 4 for the first victory, 552 from personal reserves, and took away 4,968 experience points altogether, so a decent little tank destroyer, produced a lot of damage on the enemy, a lot of shots, and although it doesn't do much in the way of damage, it does give you quite a lot of fun, and it's, well, fairly nippy. It's not very fast, but it's good. It's just a little bitch sometimes. Well, that's why they called it a little bitch, but I think it was more to do with the fact that it was a real pig to drive one of these things. They were so difficult. Well, let's have a look at the second battle. That was in the SU-85, and that's a tier 5 Soviet tank destroyer. I got a second class tanker in that game, sharpshooter, 5 for effect, and this time round I got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. My win rate from that battle was 7,015. Now you can see that I didn't hit that many vehicles, but I did get a lot of damage off those tanks that I did hit. If we look at the team score, we can see that I managed to do 2,045 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer only managed to get 1,086, and that was the KV-1 on the enemy team. And when it came to kills, I was actually second because the T-40 managed to get 6 kills. He got a Top Gun. I got 3 kills, and nobody else in the battle actually managed to get more than 1 kill. When it came to base XP, though, I was actually beaten by the Panzer 38NA on my own team, who got 663. I got 651, and the KV-1 managed to get 617. The Cavalier managed to get a Confederate, and the T-40, as I said, got a Top Gun. I fired 24 rounds in that game, 17 direct hits, 13 penetrations, damage of 2,045 hit points, of which 384 were at more than 300 meters. I received 7 hits from the enemy, all 7 bounced off. They were mostly from that P2640, and he just couldn't get his rounds to penetrate my armour. 250 hit points of damage blocked by armour, 4 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and I earned 32,121 credits on a premium count, 11,403 for holiday ops, total of 43,524, and after repair and ammunition resupply, no premium ammo used at all, 39,199 credits profit, 976 XP, 7,816 from holiday ops, 976 from personal reserves, and took away 9,769 experience points altogether. So the SU-85, I just sit there and take it. Well, all I did was just sat there and took their health away from them bit by bit by bit, using the Bush mechanic. Now, admittedly, the teammate who was right next door to me did blow up and die, and I think it was lucky that they managed to work out where he was. I was very, very lucky that the shells didn't hit me, but even if they had, I think they probably would have bounced off my armour, unless, of course, they used the APCR, but they just didn't use it, and therefore I managed to survive that game. So, 2 very underrated tank destroyers, quite fun to play, and good results. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the YouTube algorithm, and thank you for watching.